see here. Wait till people see if anybody ever gets on. Let's see here. See if anybody's on here. Okay. Hey, what's going on? All right, let's see here. We'll go ahead and dive right into this Oscar discussion here. As you guys know, Oscar nominations came out today. I was at work, so I didn't get a shot to react to some of these. So I'm going to go over some of the big ones here. We're going to go ahead and talk about the Best Supporting Actor. There was 5 nominations. We had Willem Dafoe for the Florida Project, Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer, which was really shocking because that was a reshoot, the whole Kevin Spacey drama that happened with the sexual harassment and stuff like that. They canned him, and then they put in Christopher Plummer. He's nominated for an Academy Award. And then Sam Rockwell for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Personally, I think this is Sam Rockwell's to win because out of all 5 of these ones, did Woody Harrelson give up plot? That I'm not sure of. Sam Rockwell, though, I thought for sure was the best out of the 5 performance-wise. He just really elevated 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So I have him winning this one, though. Richard Jenkins was really good in The Shape of Water. I have not seen Florida Project yet, so I can't really comment about that. But all the other ones, yeah. Let's see. So Best Supporting Actress, we have Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, which she was really terrific in that. Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. Yeah, that is true, Kelly. I did notice that, but I really think Sam Rockwell overall in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think he's going to win just because his performance in that elevated past Woody Harrelson, in my opinion. So I think Sam Rockwell gets this one just simply because of his like I said, his performance in that movie is phenomenal. So back to the supporting actresses. Okay, we have Mary J. Blige, Allison Janney, Leslie Manville, Laurie Metcalf, and Octavia Spencer, which was another shocker there because she really wasn't in that movie that much in The Shape of Water. This is a toss-up. I haven't seen I, Tonya. I've heard a lot of good things about Allison Janney winning this one, so she might be a sleeper on this one. Mary J. Blige, I haven't seen Mudbound. Laurie Metcalf was really good in Lady Bird. From the movies that I have seen, I probably would go Laurie Metcalf because I think the chemistry, just the on-screen chemistry she has with Saoirse Ronan's character, for sure. Then we have the Best Actor category, which there's a lot of fault in this one, but we'll go with it. Timothy Chalamet from Call Me by Your Name. Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, which I was surprised at because I really don't think this is Daniel Day-Lewis at his best. Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, which was rightfully so. Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, and Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel. To me, I think the Oscar snub here was Hugh Jackman for Logan. Hello. I can't see Denzel Washington getting nominated here for Roman J. Israel. The movie was good. His performance was good, but to me, just didn't equal a Oscar-worthy performance. And Daniel Day-Lewis, I thought his performance was good, but again, it's just the name. So I feel like those two, like Daniel Day-Lewis and Denzel Washington, I think those two being nominated, I really think cancel out some of the good actors. Like I think Hugh Jackman should have absolutely been recognized for Logan. I think his performance in Logan was great. Yeah, Andy Serkis for sure. I think he was really good in all of the Planet of the Apes movies. And like I said, this is Gary Oldman's Oscar pretty much because I don't think anybody else elevated the film like Gary Oldman did in The Darkest Hour. The movie itself wasn't that great, but because Gary Oldman gave such a great performance as Winston Churchill. I think he'll take the Best Actor award for that. Um, my favorite category this year was Best Actress for sure. Who did I prefer as Winston Churchill, Oldman or Lithgow in The Crown? I'd have to say Gary Oldman. I did like John Lithgow in The Crown, but I felt overall, I think that Gary Oldman really just transcended that. You could really see that he really embodied Winston Churchill, and he really thought he was Winston Churchill. And then to me, I felt like that really elevated his performance. Yeah, I like The Darkest Hour more than Dunkirk. I'm completely off board with Dunkirk. I think Dunkirk's completely overrated. That's just me. To me, I just didn't enjoy the film. I appreciate where Christopher Nolan was going with it to try to do something different. A PG-13 movie, a war movie that was only an hour and 45 minutes long. Let's focus on the event itself, and let's not dive too much into character development. I appreciate that, but to the fact of like moviegoers like me, I like to get sucked into the bonding with the characters in the whole films, and I think that's really what takes me away from Dunkirk. Best Actress, I think, is the best category on the boards here. We've got Sally Hawkins for Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, which I have not seen yet. I really want to see that, but it hasn't been playing up around here, so I'll see it when they release it. Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird and Meryl Streep for The Post. To me, I think Meryl Streep for The Post should not be nominated. To me, I really think that Jessica Chastain for Molly's Game got robbed of a nomination. That's just my personal opinion. I understand Meryl Streep. The Academy loves Meryl Streep, and anything Meryl Streep does gets nominated. But to me, The Post really wasn't that type of Oscar feel movie to it. Just because Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks are associated with the project doesn't automatically make it an Academy Award-winning film. I do appreciate the piece of work that Spielberg put out, but to me, I really thought that Jessica Chastain really elevated the movie in Molly's Game. So I really think that definitely Jessica Chastain for sure, I think, got gypped out of this. Sally Hawkins was great. Books that have nominated for best. Have I read any books nominated for best adapted screenplay? I have not. I have not. I'm actually going to look at that after, and then I'll get to that. I thought Sally Hawkins was great in The Shape of Water. Frances McDormand killed it in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Margot Robbie, I heard, is fantastic in I, Tonya. Saoirse Ronan was really, really good in Lady Bird. And like I said, Meryl Streep's the one that I don't know. I seen The Post, and I don't think Meryl Streep's performance in that one really elevates her anywhere where Sally Hawkins was great, McDormand was great, and Saoirse Ronan, I would have had those three for sure. I would have added Jessica Chastain, and I have to see I, Tonya for the Margot Robbie, but I've heard she killed it, so I can see that one. So that kind of like was Best Director, Nolan with Dunkirk. I mean, again, Dunkirk was not my cup of tea. I understand why they obviously nominated this movie. Jordan Peele for Get Out was absolutely rightfully so. This was his directorial debut. Stop nominating Meryl Streep. She wasn't even worthy. Honestly, and that wasn't her best work. There's been so many other films that she's been good in. She just constantly takes up nominations all the time for deserving actresses. Like I said, I thought Jessica Chastain's in Molly's Game, I thought really deserved, and I really feel bad that she didn't get nominated because she is such a good actress, up and coming for sure. Best Director, like I said, we got Nolan for Dunkirk, Jordan Peele for Get Out, which I think is great because that's his directorial debut, so that's really impressive. Greta Gerwig, again, another directorial debut for Lady Bird. PTA for Phantom Thread, which I don't see. I don't get it. And Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. PTA for Phantom Thread, I'm not 100% sure of. I thought McDonough for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri should have got nominated for Best Director. Also, James Mangold for Logan. I've been a champion of Logan since I seen it in March. I really think that movie really transcended the comic genre. And again, we're in an age here where we followed Logan's character for 20 years on the screen. I mean, that's 20 years as opposed to a couple hours that you bond with a character. And I just think that James Mangold really portrays a dark picture for the Logan character, which I just think was, it's a heartbreaking movie, but you feel the emotion of that film. And that to me, was a reason I think that the movie should have absolutely been nominated. And I think Mangold got robbed out of a Best Director category. In this one, I don't know. This could go either way, this category. This category is really touchy. I would count Nolan out. I don't think Dunkirk's going to win Best Director. Peel got a shot. Gerwig got a shot. PTA, I just don't think this isn't PTA at his best for me. Personally, I don't know. Like I enjoyed There Will Be Blood. I think that was one of my favorite PTA films. Magnolia was great. Boogie Nights was good. Punch Drunk Love. Things like that. Phantom Thread was okay, but I think it was shadowed more because Daniel Day-Lewis was in it, and it's like, oh, Daniel Day-Lewis, this might be Guillermo del Toro's year here, though, to win Best Director. I think The Shape of Water really transcended him as a director, and I think Del Toro would take Best Director. I think, in my opinion, maybe if let's see here. Then we got the Best Picture nominations here. We got Call Me by Your Name, which I have not seen yet. Darkest Hour, I have seen, which I don't think should be on this list, but that's just me. I think the movie itself wasn't that great, but the acting performance from Gary Oldman really elevated that movie, and I think that's the only reason why this movie is nominated. Dunkirk, Dunkirk again. This Dunkirk. Call Me by Your Name reminds me of Carol. Yeah, Carol was really boring. It was a very boring. I have not seen Call Me by Your Name yet. Carol was really boring, so I mean it can't be any worse than Carol. Carol was really really bad. Get Out for Best Picture. I not surprised by that. Not surprised by Lady Bird. Phantom Thread's really surprising, to be honest with you. This movie I just saw last week, and the movie was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Daniel Day-Lewis as an actor. I think he's very versatile as an actor. He's a good method actor who really gets into his roles. But to me, I don't think this has Best Picture written all over it. Yeah, Get Out or Greta Gerwig for sure. I think that Greta Gerwig and I also think, yeah, like I said, Jordan Peele for their directorial debuts absolutely knocked it out of the park. But I do think McDonough got gypped out of the conversation because of Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was a fantastic movie, and I really think that movie is very underrated here in the Oscars. Yeah, Phantom Thread, The Post, again, just because it's attached to Spielberg, I think got nominated. The movie was good. It was entertaining. Best documentary is a dead year. Yeah, and that's not usually like that because usually best documentary really have a lot of vivid documentaries going for them. So yeah, this one seemed a little bit off this year. Then we have Shape of Water and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's literally anybody's game here for these films. I don't think Darkest Hour has a shot in hell, so you can knock that one out. The Post has no shot. This is pretty much, I think, Three Billboards, A Shape of Water, Lady Bird, Get Out. I don't think Dunkirk has a shot. So I think it's between Three Billboards, Shape of Water, Lady Bird, and Get Out, is what I would say. But we did see last year with Moonlight, you have some of these complete dark horses that come in and steal the Best Picture. So it's kind of hard to say. Let me go back into some other things here, some other categories. We have Best Original Screenplay, which I think is really interesting, and that's another one. I just seen Best Original Screenplay here. Nothing to compare last year documentary. Oh, that was OJ Made in America. Yeah, was really tough. That was hard to beat. Best Original Screenplay, and this is a movie that I think didn't get enough love either. How about The Big Sick? The Big Sick got no acting nominations, no Best Picture nominations, which is a complete crock because that movie was really really good. And it was a nice it was a small budget film. It really put indie movies back on the map. And I thought that movie was really good. It really sucks at that. Yeah, well, The Big Sick, I'd say it's a love or hate relationship, I guess, with The Big Sick. People love it, people hate it. To me, I appreciated it. I enjoyed it. I really wish, you're like high streaming about the Oscars. Like, dude, nobody really watched the Oscars. It's just overhyped. Yeah, but you know what? That's what we do. Nobody's forcing you to watch it, so you don't have to. But Best Original Screenplay, like I said, we got The Big Sick, we got Get Out, Lady Bird, Shape of Water, and Three Billboards. This could be Best Original Screenplay. Man, that's a tough one. I don't know. Big Sick got a shot. It's either the Oscars or Watch. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead, so I'm gonna stick with the Oscars. I never got into The Walking Dead for sure. So, but yeah, Best Original Screenplay. I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one's a tough one because The Shape of Water could win this one. This could go either way for this one. And that's another. Speaking of which, another film that I was surprised it didn't get a lot of love. The Disaster Artist. James Franco and portraying Tommy Wiseau. I really thought that he was going to be a lock to get nominated. At least nothing here. Best adapted screenplay is what we got. So best adapted, we got Call Me by Your Name, Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound, which I haven't seen yet. I do want to check out Mudbound and Call Me by Your Name. This one, I don't know. This one could go. Molly's Game was really good. Disaster Artist, man, this is a toss up too. Those are toss ups. Foreign films I have not seen, so that's probably out. Best animated feature. I mean, the Boss Baby and Ferdinand getting nominated was kind of crazy, I thought, but obviously we know Coco's going to win this one. It's not even a. It's not even a. It's absolutely not even a question. To get to your best documentary, what do we have here? We have Abacus, Small Enough to Jail, Faces, Places, Icarus, Last Man in Aleppo, and Strong Island, which I haven't seen. You know the shorts, yeah. The shorts, yeah. The shorts, I really don't. I never understood that shorts in a film. I really didn't. But a lot of these, people that are trying to get their name out. I get it. They're trying to make it big, and they start making shorts, and then they go to big full feature films. So I mean, I get it to that extent. But yeah, it's the most under. Yeah, Small Enough to Jail was on PBS. Small Enough to Jail was on. Okay, yeah, I did not see that. How was that? Was that any good? And then we have what? Best cinematography, Blade Runner, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, Shape of Water. Cinematography, it was on Frontline. Okay. Best cinematography, I'm guessing probably Blade Runner 2049. Vividly, I think that was the best. That was the best shot film of the year. But I'm on board with the fact that it didn't get nominated for Best Picture. I mean, it was good, but I don't think Roger Deakins is going to get screwed again. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. Let's see, Best Film Editing. Like, these things could go either way. They're really Best Visual Effects. I'm going to go. Deakins should have won for Shawshank. Yeah, Deakins was really solid in Shawshank. Best Visual Effects. Obviously, I think Blade Runner 2049 walks away with this over Guardians and Kong and Star Wars and War for the Planet of the Apes. Just makeup and hairstyling. I'm guessing probably The Darkest Hour because Gary Oldman looks a lot like Winston Churchill. Would I ever attend the Oscars? I absolutely would. It was something I've always wanted to do since I loved movies forever ago. I actually have a picture in front of the Chinese Theater of me and my daughter next to the Oscar statue. It's always something I've always wanted to do. And I got into watching the Oscars. I think my first, man, I remember the year Titanic won Best Picture. I watched. I'm trying to think when was the first year I watched. 94 was Forrest Gump. 95 was Braveheart. Probably around 95 or 96, I think, was the first year I started watching the Oscars. And then I became, I remember clear as day. I remember the 98 Oscars were a big controversy because remember, Saving Private Ryan was locked to win Best Picture. And I was on board with that. The Artist, the Descendants didn't win. Yeah, The Descendants was really good. The Artist, yeah, I didn't see that movie that year. That was the only one out of the best films that I didn't see. But to me, I think that was the huge upset. I remember Saving Private Ryan losing to Shakespeare in Love was huge. I remember watching that and being shocked because I always thought whenever Best Director won, it usually lines up for Best Picture. But then we've seen it in '05 when Ang Lee won for Best Director for Brokeback Mountain and didn't end up winning Best Picture. So yeah, the worst Best Picture. That's a good question. A lot of people say Crash. I liked Crash, so it's kind of hard. I thought they got it right with The Hurt Locker. Moonlight last year it was worthy enough, I thought. Spotlight that year was stacked. That's the other thing with this. When you have a possibility of 10 films, it's so much harder, to win when there's 10 or 9 other films, you're competing against. To me, I liked it when it was 5 because that really trimmed it down. And like the 5 movies that you got were the 5 of the, usually the Oscar deems the best, but the 5, usually. Boyhood didn't. Yeah, Boyhood I thought was well shot, and that film was filmed in like 15, 16 years. He took to film the movie, and that Boyhood was really a transcending piece of work for sure. I really enjoyed that film, especially just to get to chronicle the whole entire growing up process of a boy. And I thought the movie was really good, and it didn't get a lot of love in the Oscars for sure. Yeah. A lot of people were complaining about Blade Runner. If there was a biopic about your life, who should play me? That's a good one. Who would play me? Who would I want to play me? I guess I'd probably say Leonardo DiCaprio just because he's good at anything, so I'm sure he can make my life interesting, even though it's really not. But yeah, I'd probably say Leonardo DiCaprio. He really transcends any role that he does. Sam Rockwell, baby. Yep. I think Sam Rockwell should play me. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. Sam Rockwell could make it interesting too. Yeah, I mean, he made 3 Billboards great, so yeah, I don't know. He could probably, yeah, I could see him playing me for sure. But yeah, I'd say Leo. I mean, Leo would make my life seem interesting for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of, like I said, there is a lot of nominations that, or lack thereof, that got snubbed for sure. Chance will tell you, I absolutely am anti-Dunkirk. I don't understand how the appeal to this film. I rewatched it and I got the same thing out of it. I was bored, and the movie's an hour and 45 minutes long, and it feels like it's 2.5 hours long. It's not engaging. I get it. It's about the event. I respect that, but to me, I don't bond or vibe with the characters at all. We don't know who anybody is. I think Mark Rylance's character is the only one we really care about, who's saving troops, and that's really it. So to me, I can't see that winning Best Picture. Like I said, Darkest Hour is out for me. I don't the acting was good in it with Gary Oldman, but the movie was not worth the best. Thoughts on the Razzies? Who was nominated for that? I actually didn't even see any of the Razzies. I only usually pay attention to the Oscars. Sometimes I'll pay attention to the Grammys, but that outside of that, who was nominated in the Razzies? Because I know they have they aren't those the Transformers and 50 Shades Darker. Yeah, was the Snowman nominated? Because the Snowman should have been nominated for worst film of the year. That was an absolute piece of trash. I don't understand how that movie got made. I was really looking forward to it when I saw The Snowman, and yeah, that movie was just so bad. The trailer made it look like this was going to be this mystery movie, this murder mystery type film, and it was going to be like a whodunit type thing. And I mean, this movie fell flat right on its face. But between those two, Transformers or 50 Shades, yeah, Harry, and that's the thing. When you know that your main character's name's Harry Hole in a film, you need to get the hell out of it. That movie was absolute train wreck. It was garbage, and I feel so bad because I think Michael Fassbender's a really good actor. He's shown that is a really good caliber actor. In the X-Men movies, he was good in Shame, good in 12 Years a Slave. He's a good actor. I think that's just a shit role that he was in that one, and it was unfortunate because that movie just was a train wreck. I thought my grandmother knew a guy named Harry Pitts. We all laughed, and my grandmother didn't know what we. Yeah, the Harry Hole takes the cake though for sure. When I heard that name, I had to do a double check because I wasn't sure that really was this guy's name. I was like, his name's what? But yeah, that movie was a train wreck. What other films did I not like this year? I'm trying to think. Snowman was on there. Dunkirk. I really don't get the Dunkirk phase. I don't. I don't know. I think I put that on my top 10 worst movies of the year. Transformers was bad. Have I ever walked out of a film? Yeah, you know what? The last film, I remember this clear as day because it's the only one I've walked out of since, but I've wanted to walk out of a lot of films since this one. But Wild Wild West, I believe it was in 1998, 99. That was one of the films I walked out of. I was so bored with that movie because that's when, Will Smith was big in the Independence Day, Men in Black, and he was huge in the mid-'90s. And anything he put out was, it was entertaining for us. When I was, a teenager growing up in the late 90s. And Wild Wild West was the one that I could not get. I haven't seen it to this day. I think, well, actually, I take it back. I watched it once on DVD, and I still didn't like it. I think that's, one of Will Smith's worst ones. Yeah, movie 43. I remember. I'm trying to think. That's the real bad one. I think Anybody and Everybody's in that movie 43. I think I did see it, and I remember being bored out of my mind. But I stayed in the seat. I don't know how. That movie was really boring. And that's really it about the Oscars. I really think, like I said, some of these, I still have to have a little bit of time to process this. This is just a quick little impromptu go live here. Like I said, I really think that some of the films that were nominated this year, yeah, I had them on my list for best pictures of the year. Like I said, Get Out was on my list. Lady Bird was on my list. Shape of Water I saw after I made my best of 2017, so I didn't put that on there, but I would have put Shape of Water on there. Phantom Thread, I would have been an honorable mention for me. I enjoyed it, but again, like I said, not best picture worthy for me. And Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I thought Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was a fantastic film. And it has a shot to do some Oscar damage for sure. We'll see. But yeah, so leave a comment down there in the comment section. What do you guys think of the Oscar nominations this year? Are you surprised by the flubs that got nominated, or the people that shouldn't have been nominated? Sound off there in the comments. What do you think's the best picture of the year? Best actor, best actress. So what do you guys think? Go ahead and sound off there in the comments. Let's have a little discussion about this. I'm going to do another video that's going to be more constructed and a little bit more precise. I just wanted to get on and talk to you guys. Just get some of my opinions about the Oscar nominations this year, what I thought initially when I saw it today, and just a little, it turned into a little QA too, so thanks. But yeah, I just wanted to talk and reach out about it and have a discussion about it. So yeah, stay tuned, and then I think I'll be bringing you some more movie reviews this year, more movie reviews this year, obviously, but more Oscar coverage too. I'm going to go in depth with. I'm going to break down each of the main categories: best actor, best actress, supporting actor, supporting actress, best picture, best director. I'm going to go over all those in depth a little bit better during the Oscars, before the Oscars come up. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Thank you for tuning in, and if sound off in the comments there.